It is time to announce our next contestant. Somebody who also should be able to give Rahi a spin for her run for her money. It is the one and only Cat.
Is indeed. Should be good. I mean, all these players have had a chance to take down Rahi, that's for sure. But
Yep. Well, just don't think about it.
Cat be the one to get it done.
Rahi says, Cat says too much pressure, and just don't think about it. Just play. Yeah, like you, I would not mind another Mars match. But
So, of course, we were going to end on Ceres. Oh, boy.
no nomads, though. Does that
I was
mean
going to say,
Rahi-
I spotted right away. Oh, man, I want to... And then the game was like, don't get it.
Rahi's won
boy.
every single game when there's been a nomad available.
True. So what?
Bad statistics from Silver Fennec. But what do we have over here
technically
anyway?
correct statistics.
We got a bunch of caves by some water. That turns these 2 water tiles into 4 water tiles. Next is some iron.
Yeah. Can you make that scientist work there? Is that good? Feels good. Well, the expansive's going to drop anyway. Cat with the 18k debt found. Rahi not prepared.
No, Rahi going to found as a scavenger and go for the 1 high carbon in the cave and the 1 high carbon all the way over there.
So I wasn't even looking at scavenger out of the option. I really just wanted to be a scientist over on the iron patch over there, and if that failed, I guess you got backup iron uranium. That's pretty good. Scavenger, though.
Also decided not to go into the carbon claims.
Carbon. Yeah.
Going straight
decided
into
not to take the
farms.
bad carbon. So if you're Cat, you just take the carbon right now, right?
Yes. If you're paying attention and...
Oh no, Rahi canceled. Okay.
Rahi's like, no, I can't give up that carbon.
Oh boy. This is a bad start for our reigning champion.
Fuel is going to be a problem, Blues points out in chat. And I agree.
Yeah, I mean, there's no garages, which is going to be helpful for the fuel market, but you're right, that fuel is going to be a major pain for Rahi, and I don't even see how you solve this time. So, when she was doing this with Nomad, I was on the edge about it, like, maybe it'll work out, but she's going to have to use these core samples, she's really going to want slant drilling late game, and then maybe she can get it done, and she did, and that was great. That is not an option this game.
No, I mean, the only thing is you go for this carbon over here on the right, and you rush teleportation and slant drilling on HQ3, and then you have enough carbon to get you through the rest of the game because there are no nukes, and as a scavenger you don't diminish, but you need to get to that point.
Yeah,
you can do that.
And along with that, though, you're stuck with this other carbon the whole time too, because you can't return a claim this game. There are extra claims, nice, but you're running behind the expansive by 10k at the same HQ level already this game. That is not a spot you want to be in.
No.
Yep.
EMP comes out.
And that's why you can't do this stuff in a 1v1. I mean, I will say, Cat does not have the best water. It's just a medium water for the time being. That's still...
I'm curious why she went for that medium instead of a high that's next to the medium. It's a little bit further away.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, it's nice that it's right next to you and all, and that's great, but not really what you're after. Now, we have not seen any of our players, I don't think, use salt very much today.
There hasn't been much salt in a usable place, right?
Yeah, in this game, it's kind of a similar story. It'd be kind of hard to use. I was thinking that if you bounded down there is maybe like a robot or something. Was robot? I don't even remember. But there were steel users on the table, so if you ended up down there as a steel user, you could like try and make it happen. But
the only way you go for salt is, I think, is if you go for that scientist and then pick up teleportation, because that's not too far to put down a couple farms and rotate them into other water later.
Right. Well, speaking of more water, Kat's gonna be adding to her already powerful amount of water production. That should be dropping off pretty fast. Have multiple water tiles active, and there's just not a lot of consumption just yet. Finally, some farms come down for Cat. She actually scrapped out of her glass kilns for that because she has not been able to secure enough silicon to keep the glass kilns active. Maybe a small bright spot that Rahi could try and take advantage of later on. Ugh. Another EMP lands down, though.
Cat dodging the goon that Rahi just picked up, and Rahi, 1 HQ level behind as a scavenger, needs another 10k to catch up in HQ levels, and then still will be behind in cash on hand. Already burning through $115 per second on fuel.
Yep. That is only going to get worse. It is interesting. She went for this medium silicon, and I think that was a pretty serious error to go for that medium silicon there. It's going to make you some cash. But once again, fuel prices were going to be a pretty serious concern for Rahi this game. And of course, there was closer silicon that you could have used. And on top of that, you can take a cave away from your opponent. Maybe just grab those two. Try and work off of that. I don't know. It's just, that's a tough spot for Rahi to put herself in.
And Rahi also doesn't have any aluminum coming in. It's cheap. It's only
28.
Yeah,
total,
you need 6.2k of aluminum to get there, but I'm sorry, I'm looking at Cat, sorry. Rahi needs 8.5k aluminum.
8.5, yep.
Finally has all the glass, all the carbon, just needs to come up with 8k. One more $1,000 to get to the upgrade, and then she'll be $22,000 behind Cat. Cat's moving into some nuclear plants, wants to pay down some of that debt.
Overloaded circuits create problems.
Buying into some oxygen. And that oxygen short.
Yep, I mean, always a nice move. Take advantage of the shorts where you can. A lot easier to do when your opponent is quite as far behind as Rahi is. And also, I mean, when you get behind in this kind of situation in a 1v1, it is so hard to catch up because the black market just keeps raining down. You keep having to make transitions because you're a little bit later to the resources, income than your opponent. Your opponent can maybe more steadily stay in the resources and more readily predict what markets they're going to be able to win. And it's just going to keep coming because your opponent has nothing to do except punish you for your mistakes. And so it is such a hard thing to recover from.
And unlike other RTS, you can't even do like a sneak attack out of the fog of war or something like that because there is no fog of war.
Nope.
Unless you make it with a hacker, with a hologram, which isn't an option, or a hacker array or something.
Yep, those tools are the very few tools that you can have to hide something from your opponent. Just try and sneak up on them.
Cat's going for a HQ3 patent lab, immediately going into transparent aluminum.
Yes, it's fine. I'm really actually not a fan of it. I would have rather just seen slant drilling taken away. Like, let's just win this game here and now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you get it, and then you upgrade to HQ4 and your 2 headquarters again above a scavenger on the Ceres as an expansive.
That's really good too.
Kind of already won it.
It's true, it's true. Rahi says, this looks grim, which might be the understatement.
The understatement of the tournament, yeah.
Oh boy. Where's that goon squad from Cat?
Well, I mean,
right,
eventually,
I guess that's fine.
Winning 6 games in a row in a best-of-1 tournament against high-quality players is a tall order to ask of anybody.
It is. And it doesn't look like it's going to happen here today. Oh boy. Glass kilns coming down from Rahi. Yet another rather than an expansion.
Which he has the money to upgrade. 20k for the upgrade, 27 in cash. He just needs to sell some things.
Yep,
there we go.
There we go.
But Cat already half the way to the buy of Rahi. So now Rahi's going to be slow to get to HQ4 because she's going to start thinking about needing to defend herself. Meanwhile, Cat's over here just sitting here making money.
Yep. Nice spot to be in when you're HQ4 and your scavenger opponent is HQ2.
Picking up nanotech.
Now 3.
There's a patent going into perpetual motion.
A new claim
The
is
patent lab
available for
can
auction.
be repurposed as a pleasure dome if the game even lasts that long.
Yeah, just... Oh boy. Quite the wealth of options for Cat at this stage of the game.
This extra claim is going to go... Well, 28k I guess is fair to pay for a claim on Ceres when both players are in B debt.
Yeah.
Knocks
I was
Cat.
kind of having trouble caring about the extra claim, to be honest, because I will say Rahi's catching up somehow.
Yeah.
That's happening. I think it's mostly this aluminum play, that she took a ridiculous amount of aluminum, and Cat's consuming a large amount of aluminum, and that's what I did not like about Cat securing transparent aluminum, was not only was slant drilling still on the table, which changed slant drilling.
Only problem is Blue says cancel perpetual motion, nano, the patent lab, and win.
I guess, winning the game is usually
That's,
and that's
the
definitely
one little problem that Rahi has in her catch-up plan.
Lab is constructed.
is the fact that she's got a patent lab down too that she can't afford, and Cat can just win the game. Yeah, those are difficulties as it turns out.
That said, Rahi did go on a 5-game winning streak in a best-of-1 King of the Hill format, so
That's true. She won.
to be ashamed of it. Not only that, she beat Blues, she beat Cubit, she beat Tacticus, she beat Toodback. Those are not insignificant players to beat in a 1v1.
No, certainly from very strong victories out of Rahi today. Now, in Cat's defense, she did the best she could possibly have done today.
Yes, because we did had a limited amount of signups this tournament, and Cat Random ended up playing last.
So Cat was our last participant of the day, but still a good job to Cat, just kind of closing that one up quickly. There are plenty of players who would have let that run a lot longer than it strictly needed to, but Cat's going to get it done and wrap us up for the day with a nice clean victory against an opponent who kind of shows that you really got to be careful about founding sometimes. It is the easiest way to lose the game.
Yeah.
The most important decision you're going to make where you found.
The most important decision you make, and one of the reasons why Offworld has such a high learning curve for new players, because at the beginning of the game you have to process more information than any other RTS
Any other time
does, right?
Yes, certainly. It's that advantage where you can have all that information to process because you're allowed to make that seeing all the information, right? So you don't have to pick what faction you're going to be before going in, but suddenly that ability turns into a requirement, and it can be quite a difficult decision to make sometimes.
So if you are a new player and you're watching this live on Twitch or later on the VODs on YouTube, you should be encouraged by the fact that even the best players sometimes found so poorly that they lose, right?
Yeah. Word to the wise: don't found scavenger like that. Just don't. It's a really bad idea. And this is why. It was such. Sometimes you can get away with founding scavenger, where you're just kind of gonna sit on 2 high carbon tiles, and that's okay because it's still 4 second. The issue here wasn't just the 2 high carbon tiles, 2 high carbon tiles that were so far apart from each other base. Because not only are you paying massive fuel costs for those carbon tiles, it takes you an incredibly long period of time to get set up this game. The other issue that we saw at RP was a very strange one for her this tournament, where most of the time she's been pretty sure about what she's been up to and has been making a decision and just executing the plan fluidly. This time around, her founding position was so poor, she wasn't sure what to do with it. And so she was changing up her tiles like 2 or 3 times before she actually just settled on her initial 3 claims and buildings at the start of the game. And even when she had done that, she had to change her mind one more time when Cat got to the level 2 upgrade really fast and could have knocked her out of the game by just taking all the carbon immediately.